Greetings creeps, I'm Angel Melanson, digital editor at FANGORIA.com. One question I get asked all the time from casual horror fans and diehards alike is, what is the scariest movie of all time? That is a very subjective question because what scares me may not scare you and vice versa. But you know what's not subjective? Science. Every year, the Science of Scare conducts a research project where they rank the scariest horror movies by measuring participants' heart rate. So while scary is subjective, this has created a baseline to efficiently argue which horror movies are the scariest. It's a great idea. Measuring the heart rates of willing victims to see which movies are the most shocking is a way to settle what is usually a purely subjective argument. Now, the way they used to measure this heavily relied on jump scares, and as all horror fans know, there's a lot more to scary than jump scares. So after getting this feedback from horror fans, the Science of Scare revised its methodology. The project added the variance of the heart rate, or how long it is between beats, to measure stress to account for slow burn horror. These variables combine in an average scare score, which was first introduced in the 2023 list to make the list more accurate. Now, art is hard to quantify, but science is there to let us know just how a movie affects us on the inside. It's all very fascinating. Here's a brief breakdown of how it works. All BPM scores are scored from a baseline heart rate of 64. The top 25 films remain locked in and are not rescreened unless a new film scores within the top 25 and knocks that film out of the bracket. The remaining movies in the top 50 are rescreened along with new entries for the year. Any film that does not make the top 50 is blocked from the list for 12 months, after which time it can be voted back in. It's also important to note, currently only English language films are screened for this list, which is a shame because I know some of the scariest movies I've seen are international horror movies. So what recent horror movies made the list? According to the Science of Scare, the scariest film of 2024 is Irish director Damien McCarthy's Oddity. This film has been deemed atmospheric and unpredictable by film critics who agree with the Science of Scare's rating. It entered the list at number 20 with an average movie heart rate BPM of 77, a heart rate variance of 18, and the highest BPM spike of 108. I feel comfortable sharing this with you since this movie has been dubbed one of the scariest of all time. When I first sat down to watch Oddity, I got all cozy in bed, I hit play, and I almost immediately hit stop. I don't think I made it more than 5 minutes in. The sheer anxiety of that opening sequence was overwhelming, and I had to finish it in the safety and the light of day. So I'd say it's a well-deserved spot on the list. Another new entry that made its way onto the list, Terrifier 3, starring Lauren Levera, carved its way onto the list at number 25 with an average movie heart rate of 79, a highest BPM spike of 97, and a heart rate variance of 15. That cold open is absolutely brutal, and I will say there is something about watching one of your best friends take an axe to the head that just hits hard even when you know it's fake. Robert Morgan's stop motion rose to number 24 with an average movie heart rate of 78, a heart rate variance of 15, scaring the audience with the highest BPM spike of 103. Immaculate, starring Sydney Sweeney, sits at number 40 on the list with an average movie heart rate of 73, heart rate variance of 13, and highest BPM spike of 101. Osgood Perkins' Longlegs, starring Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage, lands at number 42 on the list with an average movie heart rate of 71, heart variance rate of 15, and a highest BPM spike of 98. And Arkasha Stevenson's The First Omen takes the number 47 spot on the list with an average movie heart rate of 71, a heart variance of 13, and a highest BPM spike of 94. Late Night with the Devil, starring Fango friend David Datsmalchian, comes in at number 49 with an average movie heart rate of 70, a heart variance rate of 13, getting the ratings bump of a highest BPM spike of 99. 3 other 2024 horror movies were screened, but did not score within the top 100. That was Alien Romulus, Speak No Evil, the Blumhouse American remake, and The Substance. That's not to say those movies are not awesome, they just didn't get those heart rates going the way the top 100 did. So, what movie takes the top spot for the scariest horror movie of all time according to science? Sinister remains in the top spot. The study started in 2020 and Sinister has remained number 1 ever since. Pandemic Zoom Seance Horror Host sits at number 2, just 1 point below the top spot. However, according to the study, Host still got audiences' hearts beating faster than any other movie on the list. Pretty impressive. Skinamarink takes the third spot. According to the study, Skinamarink impacted audiences' heart rate variance, the HRV, more than any other movie on the list at 22%. That means it caused the most stress and dread among viewers for a total scare score of 91. Insidious comes in at number 4. We have The Conjuring at number 5, Hereditary at number 6, Smile at number 7, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, number 8, Talk to Me at number 9, and Hell House LLC at number 10. For the full list of 50, check out FANGORIA.com. Some interesting tidbits to note about that full list. Ethan Hawke and Patrick Wilson hold the record for the most appearances as a different character on the list, with 2 each. Wilson features a whopping 6 times across the Conjuring and Insidious franchises. James Wan and Scott Derrickson feature more times than any other director on the list, Wan with 4 appearances and Derrickson with 3. Tobe Hooper also makes 2 appearances. What horror movies do you think they should screen for the 2025 list? Was there anything that got your heart rate going recently? We're looking forward to updating you with the new entries later this year. In the meantime, can you make it through all 50 of the scariest movies of all time according to science? I know international horror is not a part of this study, but if you're looking for scares, I'll just say Taiwanese horror Incantation got me very, very good. Good luck out there. As always, thank you for watching. You could find this full story and your daily dose of horror news on FANGORIA.com. Let us know your #1 pick for scariest horror movie of all time in the comments. I'll see you next time.